Okay, looks like we are live. Woohoo! Let's celebrate. We're live. Yeah. Okay. It's 11:38 in the morning, Monday, June 6th, 2020. And for today's question, let's see. Let's double check. Hi, Justin. Explains everything. I just was curious about a question on an age-old question on baseball in regards to Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth played from 1914 to 1935. Obviously, one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Hit 714 home runs, batted 342 career average, almost 3,000 hits, and he's the great Bambino. Let's see here. Could Babe Ruth play baseball today? That's the question. Let's see, it's 2022. Babe Ruth played from 1914 to 1935. So the last time Babe Ruth played in the big leagues would have been, if my math is correct, 87 years ago. 87 years, almost 90 years ago was the last time he played. Now, his debut in the big leagues, 1914, was 108 years ago. Wow. That's crazy. His debut, 108 years ago. Honestly, though, I mean, Babe Ruth, let's look at his physical statistics. He was 6'2". I don't think it has his weight. I know his weight fluctuated over the years. He was 6'2", probably always between like probably 220 and maybe 250, maybe more than that, but probably between 220 and 250 pounds. Many people don't know this, but I mean, Babe Ruth was a true athlete. He wasn't just like a big, strong, heavy set dude that could hit home runs. I think it was like the first, 3 or 4 years of his career, maybe 5 years. He was also a pitcher. He was a pitcher, not just a slugger. And just outstanding athletic ability. The dude, I know a lot of people today, they look at the old footages of Babe Ruth from when he was like, I think when he was a little bit older, and he's big and heavy. And a lot of people think, oh man, how could that dude have been the greatest baseball player of all time, the greatest slugger of all time? Being built like that. A lot of people think, oh, it's because he played in a weak league. A lot of people say the major leagues was weak because during Babe's time, they didn't allow African Americans into the league. And, so it was basically all an all white league, maybe until the end of his career, but I'm not really sure. I'd have to look more into that. A lot of people say, oh, he didn't really go against the best players in the world at the time because of, racism, segregation, and all of that stuff. But honestly, like I've studied Babe Ruth a fair amount. I mean, I haven't put in as much research on Babe as I've done other athletes, but I've done a fair amount of research on him, and I've watched some footage of him. It's hard to find a lot of good footage of him, video quality, because of when he played. I mean, he played from in the 19 teens, 20s, and then near the end of his career, the 30s. So there's not a lot of real good footage that you could find of him playing. Um, but there is quite a bit of footage out there, of like him doing batting practice, practice with his team, and there are some game footage of him playing actual games. Not a lot. I mean, it's not like you can't find as much footage on Babe Ruth as you can, say, Barry Bonds or Alex Rodriguez. Obviously, I mean, it's a totally different era. Broadcasting was different back then. Camera quality was different. You know, it's just not the same. But I mean, judging by like the basics, his size, 6'2", probably in the prime of his career, between like 230 and 250, strong man, very athletic, um, faster than a lot of people ever give him credit for. Um, I would honestly say yes. To answer your question, I would say yes. Babe Ruth could play today in 2022. Um, and I got two different examples, two scenarios. Okay, if you could just take Babe from the 1920s, so 100 years ago, that Babe, and just, take him, put him in a time machine, transport him here to today, it would probably be different for him, and it probably would not be normal for him in this day and age, considering everybody's now into, fitness, eating certain diets, um, and not to mention, probably steroids, but um, it would be hard for him probably to adjust if you took that Babe Ruth, just took him and just transported him, 100 years into the future to today. It'd be hard. I'm sure he would probably be able to manage and get by and adjust. But the realistic version, the realistic way to compare Babe would be have him. He was born in 1895. So you're talking he was born like 127 years ago. Instead of him being born in 1895, what if he was born in 1995? That would make him 27 years old today. An average age baseball player, 27-year-old. If he was born in today's era, like this generation, and he played, grew up in this era, and, had the same foods, nutrition, medical, the same medical that we have today. Um, and he had the same drive and, work ethic, obviously, as he did, in the 1920s. Yeah. Oh, either way, Babe Ruth, whether you take him from like the past and just transport him here to now, or he's born in this generation and grows up in this generation, either one, I think um, Babe Ruth, I think he would do fine in this era. I really do. He would figure out the pitches, the pitchers. He would figure out the style of play, how the game's played. Um, I have no idea whether he would hit 714 home runs today and bat 342 for a career. I have no idea about that. Um, but he would definitely be able to play in this era. He would either be able to adjust, or if he was born in this era, he would grow up in this era and he would do just fine, I think. I mean, Babe Ruth was a natural. I mean, he was like a natural talent. He understood the game. I don't think he would have any problems playing in this generation, this era of 2022. Like I said, would he put up the exact same numbers that he did in the 20s and 30s, 100 years ago? I have no idea. I mean, he could, but who knows? I mean, that's only speculation. Nobody knows what kind of numbers he would put up, how many home runs he would hit, what would his batting average be, what would his total hits be, base on percentage. Um, nobody knows that. But I do think Babe Ruth would be able to play and compete in this generation especially if he was given the same um, luxuries that today's athletes get. The same nutrition, the same doctors. If you want to throw steroids in there, fine, that too. If you want to throw all that in there, if he was able to get all the same stuff that people today get, the athletes of today get, yeah. And Babe Ruth, I mean, baseball, at the end of the day, baseball is still baseball. Actually, baseball really hasn't even changed that much in like the last 100 years. The rules are pretty much the same. The only thing that's changed is the athletes. Obviously today athletes are more, um, you know, I don't want to say athletic, but they're more sophisticated today than they were 100 years ago. Their diet's different. The things that they eat, their exercise regimen's different. Um, Maybe a little bit of technique has changed, with batting and pitching and, a little bit of that stuff. But for the most part, the game's still pretty much the same, baseball, today as it was 100 years ago. So I would say Babe Ruth would do just fine. I would say the Babe would be fine today in 2022. And he would definitely be able to play. He would be able to compete with all these guys today. Again, I don't know what his numbers would be because nobody knows that. I mean, that's impossible to guess what kind of numbers he would put up. But he would definitely be able to compete today in the big leagues, Major League Baseball. So yeah, I think I answered your question right. I think that should do it for this stream. The Babe would be able to play today. And guys, before I wrap this up, I appreciate the support. Anytime you guys watch these streams, these videos, also give likes and comments down below in the comment section. It's greatly appreciated. If you guys want me to make more streams like this, answering your questions, like this video, you could always go to the About section, click on my email, and ask me a question, and I'll probably make a video just for you, as long as I understand your question. Or you could even ask me the question down below in the comment section for me to do my next video about your question. I think that's everything. I think I covered everything. Also, I don't ask for donations, no money, nothing like that. This is all free content. I enjoy doing this for fun, to also help people, educate people, maybe give people knowledge on something they wasn't aware of. So yeah, that's going to do it here. You guys know me. I do my typical 10 to 15 minute streams, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. So yeah, you guys all stay safe out there. Stay healthy. Enjoy yourself. Have fun in life. And peace out, guys. I'll see you on the next stream.